Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today for this flow practice that is designed to help you connect with your energy. We're going to move with our breath, and we're going to get our energy circulating through our body. But before we get started, please, if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button and the little bell that gives you a notification whenever I upload a new video. This is a really great way to help me continue making free yoga online. Let's get started. Let's begin seated on the mat. Get nice and comfortable here. If you don't want to sit right down into the mat, feel free to take a chair or a cushion or even stand. What's important here, or lie back. You can lie down on your mat, on your back. What's important here is that we have a long, straight spine. So lengthen up through the full length of your spine. Roll the shoulders back and down. And be nice and broad across your heart. Take a nice breath in to lift through that heart. Exhale completely. Couple of breaths here, just feeling, tuning into the rhythm of your body, of your energy. Finding a word that will represent your intention for this practice. What do you want to accomplish here? What do you want? How do you want this practice to go? How do you want to feel? And let's just softly open our eyes. Bring the left fingertips to the mat beside your hip and reach the right fingertips up overhead. And then lift up through the right side body, squeezing the left side, arcing to the left. Keep that right sits bone pressed down into the mat. Weight evenly distributed down into the mat as you lift up. Find expansion on the right side of the body. Inhale, fingertips up. Right hand comes down next to the hip. Left hand comes up overhead. Lift up through the left side of the body and reach overhead. Squeezing the right side of the body. Just a nice big stretch here. You can move your chin around, find wherever feels good for your neck. Maybe just a little motion here. Inhale to bring both hands up. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to heart center and roll over your feet. I want to come to a child's pose. So bring your knees in hip width apart. So we're not bringing knees wide. Hip width apart, sliding your hips back over your heels and bring your forehead down onto the mat. Reaching your hands forward. So I want a kind of active child's pose here. So you're really reaching forward with the fingertips, with the hands. Elbows and forearms are up off the mat. And then press into the palms to slide the hips back a little further so that you're really stretching through both sides of the waist, right up through the armpits, extending through the fingertips, pressing the fingertips into the mat. Big breath here, feeling the broadness across the back body. Exhale. And I'd like you to inhale, come up right into a cow belly breath, bringing the shoulders over the hips. Tailbone and the crown of the head are high. As you exhale, round the spine, lift the back of your heart, tuck the chin. Inhale now to bring the heart forward, coming to a plank on your knees. Exhale to lower all the way to the mat. Inhale, lift the heart, cobra pose. Exhale, slide the hips back over the heels, child's pose. Inhale to that cow belly breath, dropping the navel. As you exhale, broaden the shoulders, tuck the chin. Angry cat. Inhale to your plank. Exhale to lower all the way to the mat. Inhale, cobra pose. Pull the elbows back, broad across the collarbones. Exhale to release. Inhale through table. And exhale back to child's pose. Inhale to a cow belly breath. And as you exhale, curl the toes under and lift the knees, lift the hips, come to downward facing dog. Here in down dog, let's just pedal the feet a couple of times, drop the heels, shake your head, swing your hips, whatever feels good here. And then let's come to stillness again. Activating through the fingertips, press the palms down into the mat to lift the hips up a little further. Heels are reaching towards the mat, getting a really nice stretch through the front of the body. Inhaling, let's float forward to plank pose. Gaze stays on your toes until your shoulders are over the wrists, then bring the crown of the head high. Feel free to drop to your knees here. As you exhale, let's lower all the way to the mat. Tops of the feet press into the mat as you lift the heart for cobra pose. Exhale to release. Inhale to plank on the toes or on the knees. And exhale back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to your plank pose. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way down this time. Inhale to a cobra or up dog. Exhale, flip over your toes, pull the low ribs in and use the strength of your core to lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale to bring the gaze forward between the thumbs and step your feet forward between the thumbs. Come to a halfway lift. As you exhale, forward fold. Inhale, soften the knees and let's rise all the way up to stand. Hands up. Look up if that feels good for you. As you exhale, follow your hands all the way down to a forward fold. Finding length and a halfway lift here. Fingertips come to the shins, reaching the crown of the head forward, the tailbone back, rolling the shoulders back to be broad across the chest. As you exhale, soften the knees, bring your fingertips to the mat and step your right foot back to the back of the mat, dropping your right knee down onto the mat. Inhaling, bring the fingertips forward and up. Exhale, sink the hips. Inhale, lift up through the heart. Find the length in the spine. As you exhale, bring your hands down to frame the foot. Lift your right knee and see if you can silently bring your left foot back next to your right. Try not to drag your foot along the mat, but lift it. Inhaling, the shoulders come forward. And exhale, you can lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale to open the heart, cobra or up dog. Exhale over the feet and make your way to downward facing dog. Inhale, the right heel floats. As you exhale, the right foot comes forward between the hands, dropping the left knee. Inhale, the fingertips forward and up. Exhale, sink the hips. Inhaling, lift the heart. Exhale, hands meet the mat, step forward. Left foot meets the right in a halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, soften the knees and rise all the way up to stand. Hands up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center, forward fold. Inhaling, halfway lift. As you exhale, soften the knees, fingertips to the mat. Step your left foot back to the back of the mat, dropping the left knee. Sweeping the fingertips forward and up. A big inhale here. Exhale to sink the hips. Inhale to lift the rib cage up and away from those hips. Exhale, fingertips come down to the mat. Lift the left knee and see if you can silently step your right foot back to the back of the mat. Inhale, shoulders forward. Exhale, lower halfway or all the way down. Inhale, open the heart. As you exhale, roll over the feet. Lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left heel. As you exhale, round the spine like an angry cat to draw your left foot forward between your hands. Drop the right knee down onto the mat. Inhale, the fingertips up. Exhale, sink the hips. Inhale to finding that length through both sides of your waist, reaching the fingertips up as you drop the shoulder blades. Exhale to bring the hands forward to frame the front foot and step your right foot forward to meet the left. Halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, soften your knees. Let's rise all the way up to stand. Nice and slow, take your time. Once you're up, give your shoulders a couple of rolls. Find somewhere to gaze. Bring your feet to about hips distance. So looking in the distance for a spot where you can hold your gaze to help your balance. Bring your hands to your hips. Lengthen down through the spine to engage the core. Roll the shoulders back. Bring your weight into your left foot. Come up on the toes of the right. Notice if your hips come out of alignment, use the strength of your core. Bring them back into alignment. Soften the standing leg just a little bit and bring your right knee high. Once you have your balance here, you can bring your right ankle over the left knee. Use your fingertips to slide the hips back and down, back and down, back and down. Coming to a nice low squat in a figure 4 pose. Once you get here to a place that feels good for you, where you can feel that opening in your right hip, let the right knee be heavy. You can even bring your right hand to the inside of the right knee. Keep your left hand on the left hip. Right hand presses forward and down, and left hip pulls back and down. You can stay here like this. Bring your hands to heart center, or maybe bring them out to the side. Maybe you want to bring your elbows onto that right shin. Or maybe you want to bring the fingertips to the mat. Keep your hips low, whatever you choose. Whatever variation you chose, let's bring our hands to heart center. Press down into the left foot to bring the right knee high. Come back to stand. And then settle your right foot back down next to the left. Shut your eyes. Take a breath here. Maybe sway your weight from one foot to the next, to the other. And then bring your hands to your hips. Find your point to gaze. Soften the knees, turn the tailbone down. Bring your weight into your right foot, up on the toes of the left. Keep paying attention to the hips, keeping them in alignment. Draw the left knee up. Soften the standing leg to draw the left ankle over the right knee. And then you can begin to draw the hips back and down, back and down, back and down. As far as feels good for you. Again, the hands can stay at the hips. They can reach out for balance. They can pull into the midline. Drawing the elbows down to the shin. Letting this left knee fall heavy. Maybe you want to have your left hand on your left knee, your right hand on your right hip. Drawing the hands away from one another. Maybe you want to bring the fingertips to the floor. Hands to heart center. Press into the right foot to come up to stand. Left knee's high. And then ease that left foot down to the mat next to your right. Shut your eyes. See how you feel now. Let's step the feet to the width of the mat. Turn the toes out. Inhale the fingertips up to the ceiling. As you exhale, hands to heart center and drop the hips. Knees out over the toes, coming to your low yogi squat. Sink the hips down a little bit further. Maybe you want to sway here. You can reach forward with your hands or reach back with your hands to settle your feet, hips down onto the mat. Lengthen up through the spine and let the soles of your feet come together. Knees are wide. Take your hands next to your hips and just pop them forward a couple of inches so that you're pulling your body in close to your heels. You can interlace your hands around your toes, lengthen up through the spine. Bring your elbows in close to your waist and then roll down over those feet. A little bit more of a intense pose here. Big stretch on the inside of the thighs. Tuck the chin. Breathe into the back body. Inhale to bring the shoulders up over the hips. Use your hands outside your knees to bring the soles of the feet down on the mat, the knees high. I'm going to turn so you can see me. Take your right hand, bring it on from the outside of your right leg underneath the knee, and then wrap it around your left shin. And then the same thing on the other side. So left hand comes underneath the left knee and from the outside and wraps around the right shin. Try and lengthen up through your spine here. And then tuck your chin and lean back with your body. Now I'll turn this way so that you can see this. And lean back with your body. Really letting the shoulders slide away from the spine. Getting a big stretch through the upper shoulders, the neck. Really rounding the spine here. You're leaning like the full weight of your body back so that even if you let go with your fingertips, you'd fall back. So you can gently release your fingertips, bring them behind your knees, on your thighs, and begin to lower yourself down. And once you get part way, you can release the hands and lower yourself down till your shoulders get down on the mat. Then release out into Savasana. Heels come down to the far corners of the mat. Palms turn up. And we can breathe easy here in this pose. Enjoying Savasana, connecting back in with the word that we set as our intention for this practice. Connecting in with the energy of our body, now flowing through the body with just a little bit of movement connected with the breath. When you're ready to begin moving again, please begin by wiggling your fingers and toes. Turn your wrists and your ankles. Reach your arms up overhead. Big stretch. Maybe even a yawn here, like you're waking up all over again. Draw your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Sway from side to side. Finding your way eventually into a fetal position. Take a couple of breaths here. And then when you are ready, take your time and make your way up to a seated position. With your ankles crossed or with your legs extended, any way that feels good for you. Lengthen up through the spine, roll the shoulders back, lift the fingers, big inhale here. Exhale to draw the thumbs to the third eye, and we'll hinge forward. This is our final pose for today. Namaste. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you're feeling great and you have connected with your energetic body. If you did like this practice, please hit the like button below and leave me a comment.